Stakeholder Summit on Fresh Water by Audrey Sommerfeld. Presenters: United Nations, Canada, WaterAid Canada, developing country, India, local grassroots organization, Canada Freshwater Alliance, Interior Alliances, the Assembly of First Nations Rights to Water. United Nations. As a global organization, we are concerned about the freshwater crisis. We understand the fact that there are more and more people every year who are without fresh water and sanitation. Over the years, since 1977, we have held conferences and summits to discuss the vital importance of preserving our water. In the wake of climate change, water is a possible victim. In 2010, we declared access to water and sanitation a human right. Our efforts are to raise public awareness of the importance of water and of the importance of building infrastructure that can get clean water to suffering areas, and the importance of attacking climate change so that the water is preserved for the future. Canada. Canada is a source of plentiful fresh water. Our citizens deserve the fresh water access for health and recreation. No one understands this importance for our people better than Canada. Canadians believe in protecting the environment. We have many organizations and legislations that focus on the environment and on our water. We also have communities that are suffering from a lack of clean water, particularly our Aboriginal communities. Canada understands the plight of the poor, waterless regions in the world, but we must assure our citizens and Aboriginal people that they have their water preserved as well. Canada will maintain sovereignty over her fresh water, to ensure it is shared equally among her citizens. As we continue to develop modern, progressive technology to provide access to clean water for our rural and isolated communities, we will share that knowledge with the world. Canada commits to attending the councils and summits to further discuss this very important issue. Further, the Canadian government will commit to donating funds to charities and NGOs, such as ACTS, a Canadian-based water charity, has been providing clean water to Uganda for the past 20 years through Gravity Flow System and the Blue Planet Network, which connects funders with NGOs involved in getting all the infrastructure in place to deliver water with low cost for generations. An environmental group, WaterAid Canada. Their vision is a world where everyone everywhere has safe water, sanitation, and hygiene. Their mission is to transform the lives of the poorest and most marginalized people to improving access to safe water, sanitation, and hygiene. To make changes happen, we believe that certain conditions need to be in place. There needs to be strong leadership, active communities, equality, a focus on sustainability, and integration between development sectors. In order to do this, we will focus on 4 key areas: equality, hygiene, sustainability, service, and integration. Equality. We believe that if all people, especially those in poor countries, had equal rights under the law, then their governments would be legally obliged to ensure their access to water. Therefore, we work with human rights issues for the marginalized within their countries to bring change. Once these marginalized people are guaranteed their human rights, water rights will naturally follow. Hygiene. Water and sanitation go hand in hand. Sanitation in poorly developed areas directly impacts the environment, which in turn affects the quality of the water supply in that region. We will continue to teach, train, and support clean hygiene practices and improve sanitation technology in these poor areas to improve the water qualities and health of the population. Sustainable services. We work with governments to find those who will lead from within to develop infrastructure with financial and economic plans that will ensure a continuation of healthy, safe, environmentally sound water distribution and sanitation practices. Integration. Water, sanitation, and hygiene are all part of a bigger water crisis picture. We work to bring solutions to all 3 of these together to achieve best results. We believe that sustainable management of such a precious resource as water requires plans that work with industrial, agricultural, environmental, and private sectors all together, everyone working together to deliver sustainable goals. WaterAid Canada is determined to be in the front lines of the global water crisis issue, and we encourage the members to attending this summit to consider the 4 key areas and bring solution that will last. Developing country, India. As a developing nation, we feel the strain of freshwater crisis. We have open sewers, poor sanitation. Our water's infrastructure is in desperate need of repair and upgrades. Up to 40% of the water leaks out. Only 31 of our population of 1.311 billion people have access to clean water. In addition, our sanitation treatment is ineffective, and every day 950 million gallons of sewage flow from New Delhi into the Yamuna River. The poor environmental practices have contaminated our surface water supply, and so the groundwater is relied upon more heavily. Some of our regions do live in very wet climates, and they are better off than the arid, but we are in desperate need of assistance. Local grassroots organizations. Freshwater Alliance. The Canadian Freshwater Alliance is a project on Tides Canada shared platform, which supports on-the-ground efforts to create uncommon solutions for the common good. Tides Canada is a national Canadian charity dedicated to a healthy environment, social equality, and economic prosperity. Tides Canada has full fiduciary and governance responsibilities for the Freshwater Alliance. We provide training, mentorship, public engagement models, and celebrations to help Canadians be aware of the important issues surrounding water here at home. We can help our local leaders take water seriously. Interior Alliance, the Assembly of First Nations right to water. The federal government has not adequately provided for the needs of the First Nations people to access to clean water. Our environment must be protected to ensure safe, clean water. Our human rights must be protected so the government can be held accountable for their failure to protect and provide our means of access to clean water, sanitation, and health. We do not want these services to be privatized as a solution. Water must remain a public and free source for all. We want legislation to monitor the drinking water quality and public funding for local management of our water services. Thank you for listening.